Okay, in this tutorial video of the complete volume pump strategy, we're going to go over the settings we have. Bring it up real quick. We're going to go over liquidity controls, breakout controls, and the main entry filters. So starting with liquidity controls, what that means is if you're looking for liquidity conditions in the market, you can easily find those. And what liquidity is the amount of volume times the amount of the stock or ticker price of whatever you're trading. So the example here of Amazon, we're looking at Amazon's chart. Amazon's trading around $3,000 a share as of this video. And that times the amount of volume is going to give you liquidity. So let's say, for example, we're looking for a day where Amazon had $100 million of shares bought or sold. We can look for that. That way we can enter, depending on the size of your trading account, you can enter in times where there's enough liquidity for your fund or for your trading account to enter and exit for that. So let me go to that real quick. I already have that preset here. I have 100 million in one bar. And here we go. Those conditions were met. And we had entries on those specific bars after they closed. So you can look for liquidity. You can change it, of course, per asset. Now, breakouts, a really cool part of this strategy. Let's say, for example, one thing we could do is we could just look for the all-time high or all-time low, just what it was all-time. You can just click this. You would keep it on 0. And let's say I went onto a daily chart just to see everything. Let me zoom out really, really far. Let me actually go to a weekly chart. Let's see. And you can see that here. This blue line, this is the all-time low. And every time we made an all-time high, this blue line has signified that. So you can see over here that this is the all-time high where we're currently at, wherever this blue bar of 35.52 is the price. That's how you can see all-time high or all-time low very easy with one setting. Or if you just want to look for breakouts, let's say you want to find a breakout that whenever we have a higher price close over the last, say, 20 bars, for example, we can look for that condition. So whenever we make a new high over the last 20 bars, we want to look for that. So let me go to and maybe an hourly chart, you can see it. Okay, that condition was met over here when this bar closed. That was definitely higher than the last 20 bars. Let's look at some other examples. That was another example. This was another example of that. If we want to look for maybe a little bit longer setting, for longer breakouts, so 200 bars, we can do that. So this was an example here. Let's see. Probably going from back even here. Even back from over here. So let's say from this section. So somewhere around there, but you can see that that was a breakout over the last 200 bars. There's another example, another breakout above the last 200 bars. So that's how that works. You can also do breakdowns if they go lower. So breakouts for making higher highs are look for all-time high. If you want to look for all-time low over the last 200 bars, you would do it like that. And you can see that. Let's see if we can find an example. That's an example there on the chart. On this bar here. So that's how the breakouts work. And you can combine those breakout settings with any price action controls, any liquidity controls, any volume controls, anything on this chart. You don't have to use this by itself. It's very, very powerful. Okay, main entry filters. Actually, let's do this. So we're going to look for breakouts that are higher than the last 200 bars, and we want to use some filters on this. Let's say we want to look for ones that have just recently crossed above a certain EMA. So we want to look for a cross above or below the EMA. So here we go. Here we have an example of a breakout that crossed above the 10 EMA, and it was also a breakout of the last 200 bars. So that's an example right there of that as the main filter. And you can do above or below any EMA number you want. And EMA, for those of you that may not know, is exponential moving average, so it's just a moving average price. So that way you can look for bullish or bearish conditions when you're taking trades. So we also have this look for above, below EMA. This is going to be if the trade is generally above it, and this is if it just crossed it. So pretty similar, but this is more specific. This is if it just crossed it, and this will just look for trades that are above or below that EMA period. And you can actually see that popped on the chart. This blue line is the 100 EMA. And now anytime we have a breakout of 200 bars or above, and it's above the 100 EMA, we have a condition for a trade. That's how that works. We also have ATR look back period. Let me show you what that looks like. So I actually have an ATR indicator here in the chart just to show you visually. ATR percent, we're looking at a 14 period look back on that. So on our complete volume pump strategy, I have the ATR look back period the same as this to show you what it looks like visually on the chart. And let's say I want to look for volatile periods where the ATR is increasing by a certain amount of percent over a certain amount of bars. Let's say I want it to increase by a 1/10 of a percent over the last 5 bars. I can look for that. And you can actually see that here, for example. You can see ATR was increasing by at least 10% over the last 5 bars. And we had that breakout above the last 200 bars. So that was an entry for us. Here's another example here. And let's show you some other uses of this. So you can look for ATR increase, ATR decrease over the last amount of bars. Or you can look for it being above a certain ATR percent or below a certain ATR percent. So let's say I want to look for anytime it's above at least 1% ATR. And it's broke up above the 200 last bars. So here was an example. You can see here the ATR percent on this was above 1. We also had a breakout over the last 200 bars. This was an entry for us. I believe that's it. Let's see what we have for, you could look for ATR below also. So these allow you to look for volatile or not volatile periods of your trading. These are main entry filters. You can use those with the breakouts, liquidity, with the price action, with the volume. You can use any of these together by themselves or all together. So very, very powerful way of finding very specific conditions in the market. And we have, if you haven't seen the videos on others, we have videos on the volume controls, on the liquidity controls, breakout controls. We have videos on every section of this. So just make sure to watch them all. Thanks for watching this video, and happy trading. Thank you.